This week on the Cowboy Up podcast, meet Sherry and Kimberly. They are the managing force behind Cowtown Boots in Tucson, and they keep you looking good and feeling good. With their store, which is huge, with so many boots and so many hats and anything else you might need, they'll tell you what they look for, they'll tell you why they look for that, and they'll give you a discount while they're in the process. We can't wait to talk to them. Here they are. You know, Russell, this month is just flying by. I think we're really close to Labor Day. I mean, the quote unquote official end of summer, and I think it's actually kind of the semi-official beginning of the start of our season, right?
Well, you know, historically, when our parents bought the ranch in '65, they opened it October 1st, 1965. And that was our opening date for up until about, I don't know. Then we started leaking into September, and then, eventually we just made the right, wise decision, went year round. But dude ranching in southern Arizona has always been October through April.
Yeah.
Some ranches still don't wait until November. So it's either October, November. It's for obvious reasons. That's the peak season here in southern Arizona. But there's been a beautiful August. I'm kind of sad to see it ending.
I agree with you. And, just because that's the official beginning, I don't think people quit dressing like cowboys all during the summer, do they?
No. So I grew up, of course, here. I've been coming up 60 years now here. And my parents were friends of, I think it was the Johnsons that owned Corral Western Wear downtown Tucson. And they ended up when downtown Tucson sort of did what most downtowns did for a lot of years. They moved out, but then we moved to Cowtown Boots, and they were on Oracle Road somewhere years and years ago when I was a kid. Do you guys even remember that?
Broadway.
Well, there was one on Oracle too. Well,
no, it's just Broadway.
Well, there was a different company then, because it was Cowtown Boots back on. Because we went, but it wasn't there very long. And then you guys, how long have you been where you are now on the freeway?
32 years.
32 years.
And Cowtown Boots, there's another Western wear chain in Tucson. We don't go there, but we love Cowtown Boots. They take such good care of our guests. They give them a discount. They got to show that room key, and our staff, we all go to Cowtown Boots, and because they've got everything you need, whether you're a tourist needing to look Western for a while and have some good jeans to ride in, or you're one of us who that's your uniform. So we're really happy to have you guys there. Still got all that I-10 mess going on in front of the store. And
currently, yes.
When's that going to end?
There was an update just this morning that they're supposed to open westbound from Orange Grove to Ina by the end of the month. And then mid-September, they're supposed to open eastbound freeway. And then by the beginning of October, they're supposed to complete the from Ruthroff to Orange Grove. So by that third phase, hopefully the traffic itself will be moved back onto the freeway heading both west and east. I don't know what's going to happen with the frontage road yet. That's still, who knows, but...
Really?
Yeah. I understand that the rest of the project is supposed to end by the end of next year, and that's the whole connecting Sunset to River Road.
Okay.
But that hopefully won't impact us once we get the freeway running smoothly again.
Because the irony is you're super easy location to get to, but with this I-10 mess. And now, of course, here in front of White Stallion, we got the Twin Peaks mess.
Yes.
And we're on the wrong end of a 2-year process. So.
Yeah, definitely the wrong end of a 2-year process. And I think your process was supposed to be 2 years, and I think it's going to be appreciably longer than that.
There's 2 different projects that were happening. So there was the widening, that was 2 years, but the whole sunset connecting to River, that one was supposed to take 3 years. They just decided to do them both at the same time. So the widening project is supposed to end, I guess, in October, but we still have the second part of that. It's
fun stuff. So let's get away from that, because that's not a happy topic, I don't think, for too many people. What's going on in the world of Western wear? And why don't you introduce yourselves?
I'm Sherry, the manager of Cowtown in Tucson.
Okay.
I am Kimberly. I'm the assistant manager of Cowtown.
Sherry and Kimberly, we're so happy you're here. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Now, have you guys been to the ranch before?
I have once or twice, just kind of nosed around a little bit, but I haven't been able to walk around as much as I did today, which is absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, it's not bad, huh?
It is gorgeous.
You can kind of see why people want to come back?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
What about you, Sherry? Have you been here before?
No, this is my first time.
And you both live fairly nearby, don't you?
Very close.
That's
Very close.
That's what everybody. People's like, I drove by your place 35 years, didn't know it was here.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
you didn't
absolutely.
see that big sign.
Absolutely. So, and like Russell said, you are the main outfitter for both, especially for Laura. I know Laura just loves your store. She spends a little bit of time there, I think. Maybe even a couple of dollars.
1 or 2.
And you've seen me a few times.
A little bit.
Okay, yeah. And what I love about it is I have the fashion sense of a rock. And when my wife says, you need this, or as Rachel said, you need a summer hat, they both said, go to Cowtown. So I went into Cowtown and I saw Sherry, and Sherry said, what do you want? I said, I don't know. I want a hat. She goes, what size is your head? I said, big. What color do you want? I'm colorblind. She fixed it. When I was done, she goes, do you want to look in the mirror? I said, not even a little bit. I said, if you tell me that I'm going to look good, I look good. And Russell just got done looking at the hat, and he said, that's a good looking hat. So that says a lot, right? They can go in there, and you're going to take care of them.
Yes, we hope to, because you're leaving the store and somebody asks you, hey, where did you get that? And you say Cowtown, we want them to go, okay, you didn't leave looking like a goober. Maybe I should go in there and, maybe they can help fit me.
Yes, and like I said, and you take the time. You take the time to actually make somebody, when they leave, they were happy they came in.
It's an investment, no matter what you're purchasing. So we want to make sure that you're actually investing in something that you can use, that you will want to use, and not just something to adorn the bottom of your closet or a hat rack because it's empty.
I have a treadmill like that, and I don't think it's the same thing.
You should probably take the stuff off of that and try that.
It seems so convenient though.
Maybe replace it with a chair.
Oh, well, I could do that.
So it's interesting. I was talking to a documentary film producer, and he's done 752 episodes of a show, a couple of different shows that are on the Cowboy and Cowgirl channel. And the name has jumped out of my head. It'll come back. But he's a former rodeo cowboy, and he said, I can go into a place where there's cowboys and cowgirls, and I can tell you if they're working cowboys, rodeo cowboys, and I can even take it to the event in the rodeo that they are by how they're dressed. And you're nodding. Is that you agree with that concept?
Yes. I myself could not take it to the distance as far as, this person's of this, because I'm a country girl, not a cowgirl.
Right.
So when it comes to certain details, I don't quite pick up on those. But we can definitely tell those who actually work for a living, whether it be on a ranch or with construction, versus those that just want to dress the part. We are able to pick that out.
Yeah, I could tell you a rodeo cowboy or a rancher. And some of those guys overlap. My brother's one of those, but he dresses more like a rodeo cowboy. I can't take it to the event, but one of the fun things I can do is, particularly with felt cowboy hats, I can possibly when the Dude Ranch Association gets together and some of those guys are not cowboys at all, but a lot of them really are. But I can tell you what state they're from by their hat.
That
Pretty close.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be right 100% of the time because some of them are dressed inappropriately for their state.
Okay. I like that.
We have had to change how visitors dress. We can tell that they're not from Arizona. That much we can tell. And so we have to tell them, here in Arizona, this is how we wear this.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet.
And it's different.
It is. It's very different.
Remarkable. I had no idea.
Well, and I mean, big distinction would be between, and they're all cowboys under the big term, but buckaroos versus cowboys, and buckaroos dress very specifically compared to a cowboy.
Okay.
And if you see a buckaroo, you say, oh, that's a buckaroo. So how many boots types, brands do you guys have? Do you even know?
You give me a minute and use my fingers to count. 2, 3, 4.
A lot.
Yeah, I'm going to say at least a dozen
Wow.
different brands, I would say.
And even like within, because I personally like Durango boots. That's my go-to. I love them. There's so many different styles of boots for so many different applications.
Absolutely.
And you keep them all straight. It's really pretty remarkable.
We try.
Well, and you brought up, Stephen, Durango boots, and it's kind of interesting for somebody who grew up with parents that were really frugal for good reason at the time. And I wore Acme boots if I could, complain long enough, because they were the cheapest boots on the market.
Yeah.
And Durango's kind of started out as a affordable boot, but they've really brought their quality way up, and they're doing all these different things. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. Durango has made a lot of strides over the years and brought in so many new styles and just the quality up their game.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can use the word transformation.
Absolutely, I'd agree.
Yeah, I put my Durango boots on, and it's like I'm wearing just a little bit something more complex than a really comfortable pair of bedroom slippers. They're just so comfortable. And I think that's what a good pair of boots are, because you're not thinking about wearing them. You're thinking about other things that you should be thinking about.
Yes.
And that's kind of a good thing. So what other kind of accessories do you all specialize in over there?
It'd be easier to answer what we don't have.
Okay, what don't you have?
We don't have tack.
You don't have tack, okay.
We don't have tack. We don't carry feed.
Okay.
So, but it's a full line Western wear. I mean, from head to toe. We have a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Hats, belts, buckles, jewelry, pants. We've got little bitty baby toddler boots. We also carry infant cowboy hats all the way up to suit jackets.
Infant cowboy hats.
We do. They're the cutest little things.
Have you ever seen one of those, Russell?
I haven't. I've seen a lot of things on little kids. I haven't seen that.
They're stinking cute. They're little palm leaf hats. They're just, and it says infant on the inside. They are just adorable.
That's amazing. That is I've never seen such a thing.
Well, they're so tiny, you missed them.
Well, evidently. Yeah. They're just certainly not an end cap, are they?
No.
But they're just flat out cute.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there is that. Okay, but I don't know if you've ever, well, you obviously haven't because you haven't spent time here. Russell does a rodeo almost every Wednesday night. And my wife and I came out one day, and he did on his rodeo, he spent about 45 minutes talking about the Western wear requirements of someone participating in a rodeo. Have you ever heard about that?
Well, they got to have a cowboy hat. They can't wear a baseball cap. They have to have a button-up or snap-up shirt. It needs to either be, for some rodeos, full sleeve or half sleeve. No polos, no T-shirts, no whatever, no sweatshirts. They've got to look like cowboys and cowgirls.
And
Makes sense.
And at any point in time during the rodeo, even if they're not actively involved at that minute, they have to be dressed like that. I did not know that. And it was absolutely fascinating. And I'm thinking, this guy knows a lot about fashion, too, because this is what we're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know anything about fashion. What I do know is what you got to wear to be in a pro rodeo. But we will take a quick break and be right back.
Thank you very much, Russell, Stephen, Sherry, and Kimberly. Again, we learn more here by accident than most places by design. This great program comes to you from the White Stallion Ranch right here in Tucson, Arizona, and our good friends at Cowtown Boots. They're right down the road. So please remember, the White Stallion Ranch, maybe your inner cowboy, your cowboy inside, your cowboy adventure, it's ready to perhaps do something about that. Come and visit us, and the good people at Cowtown Boots, they'll make sure you have all of the things that help you be a cowboy, look a cowboy, and really enjoy that cowboy experience. We thank you for being a part of the worldwide audience, and we'd love to hear from you. The Cowboy Up Podcast at gmail.com, the Cowboy Up Podcast at gmail.com. Please send us any comments, maybe something that we could improve on. Perhaps you know somebody who would be a great guest. Maybe that great guest would be you. Well, we would love to hear from you. So just reach out to us at, here we go, the Cowboy Up Podcast at gmail.com. The Cowboy Up Podcast at gmail.com. Well, enough of us. Now it's time for more for you and from our good friends at the White Stallion Ranch. So here we go. Second part of Cowtown Boots and White Stallion Ranch. Here we go.
So we're sitting here with the gals from Cowtown Boots, and one of the questions that I have is how much of an impact, if any, has Show Yellowstone had on your business? Do you hear a lot from folks, or?
We've heard a little bit.
A little
bit at the beginning of the series coming out.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it was much of a huge impact for us.
Surprising. Okay.
Why do you think?
Yeah.
We tend to get more of your working cowboys in our location than somebody just wanting to dress the part.
A little less tourist oriented.
A little less tourist.
Okay. People are a bit more serious about what they're actually doing, and the reason they're dressing in the manner that they dress.
Yes.
Because I don't believe I've ever seen Russell without a hat or without a cowboy shirt on.
Sort of, at least.
Pardon me?
Pretty close. Anyway, I don't wear T-shirts.
Well, no, that's what I said.
But yeah, no, I try and, because that's what we do. So, City Slickers, remember that movie?
Yes.
Huge impact on dude ranching. It's transformational, actually. So, Yellowstone, I think, had a little impact on us. What you said at the beginning, we people would say, "Oh, are you John Dutton?" I'd say, "Yeah," and we'd take people to the train station. It had nothing like City Slickers, but I think it had a big picture impact on the West because it was really interesting. I think it's a fantastic show. Taylor Sheridan's a genius. It's unbelievable, and it's brought so much interest into the West. So I'm a big fan of what it's done. I don't think it's poured guests into dude ranches, but it's just brought the spotlight back to us a little bit, meaning the West overall. But it didn't do a lot for you guys because your customers are people doing it. They just come in, I need a new hat. I need a new hat, by the way. So what about rodeos? If the rodeo's in town, the big rodeo in Tucson, or what does peak your business? Where do you see the ebb and flow?
It would be the rodeos, fair. when we get the fair, the concerts, Country Thunder, very much like you were talking earlier as far as your season is from like October to May or April. That's usually when our season is too. And it's like back to back to back, ending with the fair, and then it kind of dies down a little bit for the summer. And that's when we see most of our construction workers, the contractors, etc. But it's rodeo's definitely a bring it in. The fair with the 4-H kids, we see a lot of business during that time as well. So that's usually our busy season, is very much the same as yours. And of course, your wonderful guests that come in, we've seen so many repeats in our own store. We remember you guys, come on over, buying for the kids back home, etc.
Yeah. So Cowtown, more than one. How many are there?
There are 7 locations in Arizona.
In Arizona.
In Arizona.
And where are there locations out of Arizona? Other states?
Yes, we have Texas, Nevada, and New Mexico.
And so how many total do you know?
7 total.
7,
Correct.
including Arizona.
Including Arizona.
Okay. And who is it? A big chain, a big company, or who owns it?
No, it is owned by the Calcaterra family. They are on their 3rd generation, working on the 4th generation right now.
Do you know when they started?
1964.
Oh, no kidding. Wow. Well, that's terrific. Our ranch started as a dude ranch in 45, but our family came in 65, so it's almost the same time.
It's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. Before we got going today, you told us about an anniversary that was today. Do you mind talking about that? If you don't want to, I understand.
I don't know if anniversary, we call it an anniversary necessarily.
I didn't say happy anniversary.
They're not all good.
It's not a happy anniversary,
Okay.
But yes, today would mark, it was 2017, there was a monsoon that parked itself above the store. Too much water, the roof fell in, and we flooded the store. So we had to shut down the store for 2 months, and we gutted it. We moved, we cleaned, we retiled, we built more racks. Just kind of remodeled. It forced a remodel. And that was in 2017. And yeah, today was...
you didn't even think about it, did you?
I didn't think about it. It might have occurred to me later on today, but it did not. But yeah, 7 years with the original building out of the scene.
So the part of the store that's there now, because that part that the roof collapsed was the original and it's gone.
Yes.
So the roof didn't collapse on the part that's there now.
No, it was the add-on.
Right.
Yeah.
And so was the merchandise under that roof saved? Or
most of the merchandise was saved because thankfully there is about a 3 to 4 inch lift, and everything was either up on a rack.
Right.
We lost a couple of all the boots that were underneath where it caved in, but we were able to actually salvage a good portion of the merchandise.
Right. But it always makes me think of a story. So years ago, my mother was still alive, so it must have been 25 years ago. Our maintenance guy comes up to the house, and we're having a monsoon, and comes up to my house, and we were closed. It was summertime. And he says, the roof's coming off the lodge. And I just took it as, some of the asphalt was blowing off. So what am I going to do? It's raining, there's wind, it's a big storm. So I'll go take a look. Well, no, the whole roof structure had been sucked off the building.
Oh, my goodness.
And the wind was blowing so hard that this entire tongue and groove, 2-inch thick roof structure with the asphalt on top was blowing in the wind like a sail on a sail ship. And so you go in the building and you looked at the sky. So we had a big problem too. So
it's scary. I'm glad that it happened overnight and not when we were in the store and that we had customers in the store, because going in that morning, we got there 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and to see that destruction and how everything, that would have been absolutely horrendous. So I'm thankful that it happened overnight, if at all. It was kind of terrifying to see everything just gone.
Right. Well, the store's beautiful now, and one of the nice things, and you kind of almost feel like you're alone because it's such a nice big store, and you haven't mashed things in. This is not Walmart, and so you can kind of tour around and look at all the different things, like you said, from suit jackets to boots to jewelry to little knickknacks, and it's all there. And you can and hats are hard to find. We're a little bit hat fascists over here, and it's hard to find good hats, and so you have hats for people who are going to wear them 2 weeks and go home, and you have hats for people who live in them. So it's
there's a lot people don't understand when it comes to the hats. So coming in to ask us to help fit you is benefit. It's a benefit because we can actually fit you and make sure that it fits you properly. Make sure that it's going to stay on your head if you're riding bulls that weekend, or if it's just something to wear out on the lake. It's not just a matter of putting it on your head and going, hey, this fits, let's go with it. Well, let's look at it a little deeper. So
that was literally the first hat I bought, and I got in trouble for that one.
Did you?
It didn't go well. It did not go well.
What'd you get in trouble for?
Buying the wrong hat. I bought a hat. I didn't need help because I was smarter than everybody else. And it turns out I definitely needed help. You got the wrong hat.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good hat. I've got to go get one because mine, which I don't know why anybody would have taken it, but I leave my straw hat around, and somebody apparently thought it was there.
Well, I tell you that you could have mine, except it would go over your entire head, and I don't think that would go well for you.
What size is that?
That's big.
Oh.
Believe me, big.
Well, anyway, I need to get down to Cowtown. Do you have a website?
It would be cowtownboots.com.
Right. And that's probably just to help people find locations and stuff like that. You don't do online stuff, do you?
It's mostly if you're looking for boots to shop for. As far as locations, I don't know if that one says locations, because it's a very simple website.
So it's really intended just to help people get to the store. And Cowtown Boots is a misnomer anyway, because it's huge selection of boots, but you have everything there.
It can be very overwhelming when you walk in the store, because on the outside we just look, very, very simple, but pretty much we can tell those that have never been there because they just walk in and it's just like, where do we start? We're like, here, have a seat. Tell me what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Let's get you there.
Yeah, you kind of have to thread a needle once you get in there because it is large and a little bit overwhelming without help.
It can be, yes.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you go to, the first time I was in there, it says, let me show me a pair of size 12 boots, and you showed me an aisle of size 12 boots on both sides.
Yeah, they do have signs.
Yeah, but there's so many different
Nobody looks at the signs because all the boots and everything is overwhelming. They don't expect to see that.
Yeah, it really is. What are your operating hours and what days of the week are you there?
It's Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday it's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Oh, so you are open on Sundays as well.
We are.
Okay. Now, thread the needle for folks on how to get to your store, because that's not simple right now.
Half a mile north of the Ruth Ruff exit along the frontage road.
Okay.
Is the easiest way. Do not be intimidated by the signs.
Okay.
Just continue to go. You'll see a sign that says either road closed or road closed to through traffic or street closed. That's just saying that you can't make it all the way down to Orange Grove. The frontage businesses are open.
Okay. Okay, good.
And, that's a really good point because we talked about it like it was a big disaster. It's a disaster image-wise because people think they can't get in there. It's actually as easy as ever. I mean, it's not.
The same way you got there before,
Exactly.
But with all those orange signs
Exactly.
and the blue signs, there's too much to read and to focus. And So it gets very overwhelming, and people just say, "Screw it, I'm just not
Right,
going to go."
exactly. That's the problem.
Yes.
The access is the same.
It is.
It's no different than it ever was.
Agreed.
So anyway, good place to go. Durango Boots.
She even brought a catalog with her.
Yeah. No, it's.
That was in case I needed reference.
Yeah, I'm thinking you probably know most of what's going on in there.
Maybe. Maybe I can fit you better than I can recite what's in the catalog.
Isn't that what it's all about?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
That's what we do. We ask the questions, figure out what you're going to do, why you're going to use them for. You know, we try to get the nitty gritty so we can get you into the right pair.
That's
be it
great.
A hat, jeans, or
That's what
boots.
people are after.
Well, I as a little an operator of a small business who feels increasingly like the system is rigged against, not intentionally. I don't think anybody's out to get us, but I think it's harder and harder to be a small business. You guys are a small business. You got 7 locations in the Southwest, and it's just great to see those kind of businesses. Third now, working on the 4th generation. We say we're 3rd and a half because I have a 6-year-old daughter. You know Reagan. She's been down to the store. And, it's just great to see those kind of operations. We love to support them. And Durango Boots I love seeing it's kind of like our dude range. Once upon a time, we were like every other dude range in southern Arizona. We were just kind of doing what we did, and we didn't really half the time know what that was, and we just incrementally over a whole long time, our family got better and better at it, and we threw everything we had into it, and now we're like Durango Boots. We think we're toward the top, and Durango has risen from a kind of a commodity boot to a first-rate top choice of boot
I would
wearers.
agree with that.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's a great American story.
It is a great American story.
And means something to me. So, Cowtown and Durango Boots, thanks for
Thank
being
you very
here.
much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Russell, this is an area we don't even get the opportunity to talk about very much. Clothing and what goes into how we do what we do, especially here on the ranch and around horses. And it's kind of interesting to talk about this. A little different.
Yeah, I have no input. I don't even buy my own clothes.
I don't buy my own hats anymore. I promise you that.
I haven't bought a shirt or a pair of pants in 30 years. So, for myself.
For yourself. Well,
No.
Okay.
It's not my area. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for having us.
A lot of folks ask us, they'll say, hey, how do we come visit White Stallion and keep a couple of dollars in our pocket? Well, scheduling comes down to a lot there. If you join us after Thanksgiving and towards the middle of December or right after New Year's, there's periods in there that travel is not as heavy as it once was, although that's sometimes changing. If you look on our website, you can see where we got a couple of those discount weeks in here, and we do still have a few places available. We would love to add you to our mix. Visit whitestallion.com to learn more. That's whitestallion.com.
And from the White Stallion Ranch in Tucson, Arizona, a historic and wonderful place for you to come and visit and tell others. That's a wrap. And we're grateful that you've been with us, and we hope you'll come back once again. One of the things we've started to think about, and in fact, we're going to do it starting right now, that no matter what the program is, we need a cowboy western, maybe cowboy western country, maybe cowboy western country, maybe even a touch of gospel. Many of the wonderful singers in this genre and tradition, and we want them to have a place and a space to sing their song and show us just exactly how inspiring they can be. And we're often doing that. And we thank Dave Rickner For our music today, he actually is at the White Stallion Ranch almost every Saturday evening. He's entertaining the guests and then showing them a little bit of what the cowboy heart is like. That's right, he is truly a cowboy at heart. And today he takes us out with What Kind of Cowboy Are You?
You have heard it said, there's a cowboy code, yet cowboys are as different as the many trails they've rode. Call yourself a cowboy, then take a look inside. There's more to being a cowboy than the way you ride. Do you sense the spirit in every living thing? Honor all creation as divine offspring. Marvel at the wonder of a cactus, steer, or star. I guess it all depends on what kind of cowboy you are. Do you stand by your woman even when it's hard to stay? And when she begs to differ, honor what she has to say. Reach out to a friend or foe even when your heart they have scarred. I guess it all depends on what kind of cowboy you are. Do you sense the spirit in every living thing? Honor all men and women as divine offspring. Marvel at the wonder of a cactus, steer, star. I guess it all depends on what kind of cowboy you are. When you harvest a critter, does it cause you to pause? In a moment of reverence, was it for a higher cause? Seeing all these creatures, a hallowed work of art. I guess it all depends what's in your cowboy heart. And do you honor nature, those gifts to us below? Give thanks to the one from whom these blessings flow. Find your place within it, not setting yourself apart. I guess it all depends what's in your cowboy heart. Do you sense the spirit in every living thing? Honor all creation as divine offspring. Marvel at the wonder of a cactus, steer, star. I guess it all depends on what kind of cowboy you are. I guess it all depends